Guys, you see the title of this video. For today, what we're going to be doing is breaking down how to go about getting results for social media management clients. So I've had a lot of comments, I guess, recently in the past couple of weeks, if you will, on my actual YouTube channel, basically just asking me like, how do you go about getting results for social media management clients? Because you talk about them a lot and whatnot. I even had a rude comment from a dude saying, oh, so basically you're just churning, you're churning and burning clients. That is not the case. That's not how you build a successful agency. That's kind of a tongue twister there. Anyway, guys, long story short, what I'm going to do is show you how we go about getting results for our social media management clients. Now, by all means, we are not 100% perfect or anything like that. Some clients stay on for 3 months. Some clients stay on for 8 months. Some clients even stay on for a year. I'll throw a couple of screenshots on the screen right now so you can see a couple of our clients and whatnot that have stayed on for quite a while. So with social media management clients, what I found, guys, is that it's actually not too difficult in terms of the actual service delivery. Now, first and foremost, it depends on what the actual client wants. So before I even say any of that sort of stuff, you have to think about what your client genuinely actually wants. We've had, like I said, clients stay on with us for literally 13 months, and all we've done for them is literally go around the internet, figure out follow what you call RSS feeds, and basically create content around that particular industry whenever some sort of news comes around. For example, there was a gaming company that we actually used to work with and whatnot, and they took their marketing in-house because they actually rebranded. We helped them actually get investment. So they actually came on board, by the way, real quick, just a quick story for you guys. They actually came on board, by the way, and the reason why they came on board is because they wanted to actually, I guess, grow their brand, grow their credibility, and that would to basically help them, I guess, get investment for their business going forwards. So they actually wanted to kind of like grow their brand so they look good to investors. So when it came time to kind of like, you know, landing investment from your funding and stuff like that, they actually got that, and they actually went on to actually genuinely go on and get funding and rebranded their brand. They actually took that in-house, and they was able to do that, which is completely fine with us, and they stayed on for a long time. So as you can see, we've actually had clients stay on for a long time. I've had clients stay on for 3 months, but all in all, I'll tell you basically how I've kind of the kind of patterns I've spotted, I guess, if you will, with the clients that stay on for the longest. Now, again, just real quick, it just depends on what these results are. As in, there's some clients out there that want growth, then there's some clients out there that just want you to manage their accounts. Now, I prefer the latter, if you will. I actually prefer clients that basically just want their accounts managed. In fact, with Upwork, and this is how I get all of my, well, pretty much every single one of my social media management clients, to be honest with you. And what I actually do, guys, is when they want growth, for example, I explain to them that like organic growth is pretty much dead. Now, I actually go on and explain that like, look, I know, you know, for example, I'll literally say, let's pretend the person's name is John, for example. I'll be like, look, John, organic growth is pretty much dead at this particular point. In fact, if you take a look at all the social media platforms, if you actually look at the business of social media as a whole, you're not really supposed to grow organically. They don't want you to have free traffic. In fact, take a look at TikTok right now. And then what I do, guys, is I basically break down, and the reason why I'm telling you this, by the way, I'll quickly show you how I break this down. So what I do is I quickly break down like why organic growth's dead. I break down the actual business model of social media as a whole. So I tell them that like social media, the game of social media, as like if you was to own a social media, this is the game you would be playing. If you was Mark Zuckerberg, for example, this is the game you would be playing. First and foremost, when a new social media platform comes around, there's lots of hype. People go viral very easily. There's literal people on TikTok going viral over stupid reaction videos. They actually watch other people's videos and then react to it. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen that guy, the black dude. I forgot his name. You guys are gonna slander me for this, but he's super famous. I think he's got like he's probably one of the top like 5 TikTok creators basically. But all he does is react to stupid videos he sees around the internet, and he does that. You know the guy I'm talking about. But yeah, basically, as you can see, he's literally gone viral. Absolutely just got millions on top of millions of followers just for reacting to videos. Some of them aren't even like high quality videos or anything like that. So the content they're creating is not really that good. It's just watching other people's content and then just going, you guys, I don't know, this social media stuff is kind of crazy, but he's going viral off of that. Of course, I'm not trying to hate on him or anything like that. I think it's absolutely genius that he's gone viral. That's absolutely amazing. But what I'm trying to say is, I explained this to clients that like when a new social media platform comes around, there's a lot of hype on there. A huge amount of hype on there. Then what happens is a lot of people go viral quite easily. Then what happens is that actually attracts new users onto that social media platform until the social media platform actually grows to a certain point. Then they start rolling around their advertising platform when they've got enough data and enough users on there. Then what happens normally is that everybody's engagement and growth actually just stops. It comes to a halt. It's heavily cut basically by the actual social platforms itself. And the reason why they do that is because it now forces your hand to run ads. This is what happens with every social media platform out there. It happened with Instagram, it happened with Facebook. Everybody was going viral all of a sudden. It was easy to grow followers on Instagram and stuff like that. Then they cut your engagement down to like 1 to 3% or whatever it is, and now you have to pay to play. So I explained this to clients, that even if we was doing like for like, comment for comment, the Gary V $1.80 strategy or whatever it's called, even if we were doing that, we'd have to spend like 8 hours a day just doing that to gain minimal followers. Not only that, but Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that, they have inbuilt limits on how many posts you can like. They have inbuilt limits on how many DMs you can send, how many people you can follow, how many people you can actually people's like, how many posts you can like, how many comments you can actually leave, that sort of stuff. There's actually a limit on that, and the reason why there's a limit is because they don't want you to grow organically. That's free traffic for you. That's free sales for you. They don't want you to grow organically. So I explained this to clients, and I explained that like, if you really want growth, you better be willing to actually pay for your growth. And if you want real followers, it's going to be quite expensive, to be honest with you. You better be, looking to pay at least 50 cents, $1, to maybe even $2 for an actual qualified follower. Now, when I say real followers, I'm actually meant, qualified followers, people that you run ads to. And what I mean by that is, let's say you're working with a brand over in the US, for example, I don't know, a random e-com brand, for example, and they want real followers for their brand that are going to, when I say real followers, again, they want qualified followers. Qualified follower is basically somebody who's going to buy something eventually from the brand. That right there is very expensive. You might as well take that same money and actually just invest into normal like conversion Facebook ads, like direct response marketing. There's no point spending that much money on just generating followers, basically, because the actual cost per follower is going to be it's going to be like 50 cents to maybe $2, maybe even $3 per follower. So if it's even just $1 per follower and they want 1,000 followers, you could do the maths right there. It's $1 times 1,000. That's $1,000 right there, guys. If it's $2 for an actual qualified follower, then obviously you can see it's $2,000 per 1,000 follower. And again, it all depends upon what your metrics are. Of course, you actually have to look at the metrics and stuff like that. But I think organic growth is dead. I don't even try to do organic growth for my clients. I actually explain this to them, that organic growth is dead. You have to pay to play now. And I actually I tell them this up front. And if they don't like what they're hearing, I don't sign them on as a client. And this is the key I'm trying to get over to you guys. You need to set the right expectations from the get-go. So I don't actually sell people. So with social media management, right, when you're going to sell a client or close a client, if you will, on your actual service, there's kind of normally two routes you can take them down in terms of like the actual pitch, the angle of the pitch is what I like to call it. So the one angle would be, you're going to sell them social media management, if you will, in terms of the growth side of stuff. So you're going to help them go from, 2,000 followers to 10,000 followers in a couple of months or whatever it is. I do not sell clients on that. I do not sell clients on that. The reason why I don't sell clients on that is because organic growth is dead. They better be willing to actually pay for the actual growth. And again, if you're going to do this growth stuff, the way how you would go about doing this is obviously running, Instagram ads and Facebook ads in order to do that. I've got a video on my channel on how I actually grew my own Instagram and stuff like that. I turned the ad off, by the way, just because I seen that it wasn't really worth it to generate like third world country followers. I don't actually know if I can say that, third world country, underdeveloped country is what I mean. So don't slander me in the comments. No offense by that as well. If you're in a third world country or underdeveloped country, no racist or anything like that, no racist shade or anything like that. So long story short, the second way you can go about selling, if you will, the angle of the sale you can actually go about closing a social media management client on, is the idea of taking the work off of their hand, having it automated by a specialist that's going to enable them to grow their brand presence and the quality of their actual posts in order to gain social proof. That's basically what we do instead. So what we do is we pitch them on the idea, and the angle we kind of pitch them down is we are going to be an agency, a done for you agency, what's going to automate from A to Z the thought process of sitting down and thinking of what content to come up with, to actually then having that posted out, to having that created, then posted out, and then having it captioned and with hashtags as well. So we actually automate that process for you. So you've got new, fresh, unique content going out every single day. That's the angle that we sell social media management clients on, which is why we're able to retain clients for so long. Because I actually tell them right from the beginning, I am not going to be the dude to grow your account from 0 to 10,000 followers in 2 months organically, just by doing like for like or comment for comment or follow for follow. Or influencer shout outs. I am not that guy to do that. I don't do that. I actually do I actually do paid growth if you ever want paid growth. So that's like, Facebook like campaigns, running Instagram story ads and that sort of stuff, and boosting posts. That's how we go about generating followers. We don't do the whole, $1.80 strategy like Gary Vee. So I actually tell them that right from the beginning. If they're not a good fit, then I say deuces to them basically. I say deuces, not in a bad way, but I just say, you know, that's not what we do. We actually specialize more on the actual quality of content, helping your brand and the way how it's perceived online. Then hopefully eventually down the line, that helps you generate more followers. And I explain it to them like this. Imagine you're looking at I don't know, some sort of clothing line. And this is actually what happens to me. I actually got hit with an ad the other day, and I'll just quickly explain this to you. Let's say you get hit with an ad from two different brands. They're a watch brand or something like that, and they're trying to sell you like I don't know. I got hit by a G-Shock watch the other day, by the way. But let's pretend it's just a generic watch brand you never heard before, and you actually like the watch. So you click on the ad and you go to their website. Then normally what I found I personally do is I'll go back on their social media and check to see how popping, if you will, their social media is. Now, if they've got like 10,000 followers, it doesn't even matter if they're qualified followers or not, or like, you know, if they've got a whole bunch of followers and they're kind of like, you know, they look like they've got like a popping engagement, if you will, I would probably be more likely to buy from that brand if I got hit with the exact same ad with the exact same watch, and then I clicked on that particular, let's say there's a different candidate, they're selling the exact same watch, they hit me with the same ad on the same day, for example, and I go to their website and then I go back off their website, which is just something I do. I don't know if you guys do that. I'm pretty sure everybody does it, where they look at where they're kind of like making a purchasing decision, and then they go onto that particular brand's social media, and they go and look through the actual social media to see what sort of content they've got and see how many followers they've got and how popping their social media is. Well, I do the exact same thing, and I'm pretty sure all you guys do. So let's pretend that we've got one candidate over here. I've kind of explained that one. We've got a second candidate over here with the same watch, ran the same ad to you with the same, it's exactly the same copy of the ad, the same image of the ad. You're probably going to then look at their, you know, Instagram page, and if it's not popping, let's say the brand this time has, I don't know, 3 posts and they've got like 300 followers. You're immediately going to think something's off with this brand immediately. So this is what I explain to clients. And again, eventually you can upsell them into your Facebook ad services and stuff like that, like, you know, a couple months down the line once they've got, you know, popping content on there. Now, let me actually talk about the protocol. So that's kind of like how I explain it to clients and the way how I sell social media management, that like in the future, this is what's going to happen. Eventually, when you start running ads, this is what's going to happen. If you're competing against people and you've got, you know, 200 followers and you've only got like 10 posts, whereas a brand's got 20k followers and they've got, I don't know, 200 posts, for example, they're probably going to get the sale just because you look more credible. And I sell them on the credibility of their brand, if you will, the amount of posts they've got, the engagement, that sort of stuff. And again, we do the in terms of engagement. What we do is we actually go about running little engagement ads, boosting posts, that sort of stuff. So long story short, guys, there's a couple of things you can do for social media management clients. I like to just do the management for them, take that off their hands and kind of create them quality content. Now, the way how we go about doing this, it just depends on the actual client, because some clients literally just want us to go on the internet, find memes and recreate the memes that we find on the internet, and then have them redistributed on their social media based upon their style. So there's clients like that. Then there's also clients where we go about looking for news articles, if you will, kind of like news articles, because they don't have like much content or something like that. Maybe it's like a service-based business, for example, they don't really have like product shots and stuff like that. So what we do is we go around the internet, find images, and we also link those images to like RSS feeds. So we go to RSS feeds, follow the RSS feeds, and what we do is whenever a news piece drops, we basically take that news feed and we recreate the news that news piece, if you will, and we create content around it and have that distributed on our client's social. So that's another example of an actual client. And again, just real quick, what we actually do for clients is we only really use Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Pinterest. Those are the only accounts we grow. I personally don't like, those are the only accounts we manage, not grow. Those are the only accounts we manage. And the reason for that, guys, is because I don't personally like, well, I wouldn't say I'd like, it's not really about what you like or what you don't like. I personally just don't like the video editing process, which is why I've got a video editor, by the way. Even though I have a video editor, I don't do like TikTok, Snapchat. I personally think, for example, Snapchat and stuff like that, like especially Snapchat and Instagram stories, I feel like those are in the moment, behind the scenes kind of content, if you will. Yeah, behind the scenes kind of like content, if you will. So what I mean by that is, like, let's say you have a client like me, I have a client all the way over in Texas, for example. Like, I would physically need to be at that person's business for Snapchat to work. Snapchat's not one of those things that's really going to work. So I don't do Snapchat kind of like management. I don't do TikTok management. I don't really do Instagram stories unless they're like promo or pre-taken shots, if you will. That's the only time we basically do those. And the way how we manage our social media management clients, by the way, is again, those 5 accounts. Normally it's those 5 accounts. Most clients only want like 2 to 3 platforms managed, such as like maybe their Instagram and their Facebook and maybe their LinkedIn, for example. So that's 3 right there. So what we basically basically do for free accounts is that we basically go ahead and make our clients get buffer. This is the key. You make your client get buffer or Hootsuite or Sprout Social. Doesn't matter which one, guys. They pretty much do all the same shit. To be honest with you, it's just that if you can use one, you can probably use the other. They've all got their unique selling points and whatnot. Yeah, we all get it. They've all got their own bells and whistles. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, we just personally like to use buffer.com. So what we do is we get our client to create the buffer.com account, and if they have to pay for it, which is like $5, I believe it is at this particular time of recording this, then the client actually pays for it and they log in. So they then give us the username and the password, and we log in, obviously, and we make sure that our clients, by the way, actually connect their account. So this is kind of like the strategy. So when we close a client, what we do is we get them to onboard. Within our onboarding process, that's like a series of like 7-minute videos that they actually follow. And again, it's a completely automated process, if you will. And then what happens is in one of the, first of all, they sign the contracts and stuff like that. Then they go through and actually go into our intake form. With the intake form, they basically break down what their business is, what they're selling, who their ideal customers are, what their unique selling points are as their business or the service or the product, if you will. Then they break down sort of like brands that they kind of want to replicate, if you will. And they tell us all about their social media goals, everything we need to know. There's also a link in there or kind of like a question that basically links them or gets them to kind of link us, should I say, to a Google Drive folder or a Dropbox folder with all their business photos if they have them, or their any sort of business photos, content, any sort of like any sort of branding assets, if you will, goes in this one Google Drive folder. And then what I do is I get my social media manager to go through all of this intake form. And what we do is we actually put together a 30-day plan. This is something new that we started implementing recently, and it's been working tremendously with my new social media manager. I have 2 right now. Well, technically I have 3. Well, I'm only working with pretty much 2 at the moment, to be honest with you. Like one I'm heavily working with, the other one I'm kind of working with, and then the third one is kind of like on Rolodex, if you will. So that's kind of like how we've got it like set up right now. Just long story short though, guys, when a client goes for our intake form, we pretty much know already the direction we're going to take them down. If not, I just send over a Loom video and just basically break the strategy down to my social media manager. And what they basically do is they go ahead and create what you call a 30-day worth of content. So they come up with a content calendar. So on day 1, we're going to have this sort of post. On day 2, we're going to have this sort of post. On day 3, you're going to have this sort of post. And again, if you literally just Google like Instagram 30-day content idea plan, you will literally Google and come across a whole bunch of like plans where you can see like the 30-day. And what we do is we take that and we kind of like take inspiration from that, and we create this template out for our clients so that we can show them the sort of like 30 days worth of content ideas that we've got in advance. So if we need particular sort of like content from clients, such as like a behind the scenes photo, we can have that already pre-made. So let's say on day 27, one of the little posts, if you will, is like we need a behind the scenes shot or a happy customer in one of your products or wearing one of your products or whatever it is, receiving your service. Then I tell them we need a photo that looks like that way in advance so that we actually have that, and then they put that into the Google Drive folder. And what we do is we edit up the photos if we need to, put graphics on it if we need to. And again, a really good little thing you can use is Canva, Photoshop, that sort of stuff. And then what we do is go ahead, distribute that content, and that's basically how we go about doing this. And again, each month we come up with a different calendar, and our clients pretty much happy from there. Now, when it comes to reporting, there's not really much to report when you're just doing the social media management stuff. So the reports you can easily get away with. Like sometimes you might have to, if a post really does well or something like that, or you get good engagement, just send like a good little line, if you will, over in the Slack channel. All communications, by the way, is done through Slack. Our clients are in Slack channel. But basically, whenever some sort of update happens, I put it in the Slack channel. And at the end of the week, what we also do is send over like little Loom videos. If there's nothing to report, we actually say there's not really much to report. Everything's moving smoothly, John. That within itself is a report, because sometimes with social media management, you're not really focused on growth. Nothing really moves. Nothing's really like growing. It's not crazy like you. And I used to. And the funny thing is, guys, I used to think that like social media management was like you had to be this amazing like graphic designer and stuff like that for social media management to work. Literally, guys, some of our clients literally just want us to screenshot memes and repost them on their platform. I am not even joking, and they pay us that, and they stay on for quite a long time, because all we're doing is just screenshotting memes and reposting, so they've got content on there. I am not even joking. There's literal meme pages out there that you can manage, and all they want is just funny memes that you can find around the internet, screenshot them and put them on their actual platform. But guys, that's basically how we're going about actually getting results, if you will, for our social media management client. Again, we're not really focused on the organic growth, trying to do like the $1.80 strategy, or we're not trying to do like for like. We don't do follow for follow. We don't do like comments. monitoring and DMing people and reaching out. We don't do any of that. We just do the actual creating of the content and coming up with the ideas. Because again, a lot of clients don't even know what to post. When I say strategy, like coming up with an overall strategy, all I'm basically saying there, guys, is clients just want somebody to kind of give them direction. They wake up, they've got their business and whatnot, and they want something on social media so they look active. And they don't know how to they don't know what to post. They don't know how to come up with the ideas. So they kind of like sat there and they actually get what you call writer's block. Writer's block is where you literally sit down and think, what should I post today? What sort of stuff should I actually post today? And what happens is, because they're overthinking it, they end up not creating content, or it takes them hours to even think of just one simple idea. So that's how we go about, getting our clients, I guess, familiar with what we do and kind of like on board with what we do. Because again, realistically, what we do is we just create fresh, unique content every single day for our clients, so that there's nothing like not being posted on their accounts, and they're 100% happy with that. The funny thing is, this is what they actually want. Give Susie what Susie wants for lunch. Don't guess what Susie wants for lunch is something that I actually teach in my agency transmutation and one-to-one program. If you're interested in that, of course, let me know, because this is obviously I go into a lot more detail than this in my actual programs and stuff like that, and one-to-one stuff. But that's the overall gist of it. The protocol is onboarding. Once they're onboarded, we get them into Slack. Once they're in Slack, we create a 30-day worth of content. Our clients then green light it and basically break down certain stuff that they don't like. For example, on day 17 of the month, we might have this sort of idea, which is, I don't know, share some sort of tip about their past, or some sort of story about their past. If they don't like that, then we change that out for something else. And then what we do is, once we have this plan, we then just go ahead and start creating the content for each one of these days, because each day is different. So day one might be educate your audience about your products. Day 2 might be share a tip or a myth about your industry, if you will. Day 3 might be something like share a behind the scenes photo of your business. Day 4 might be share a happy customer in one of your products, or like using your service or using your products or something like that. So that's the sort of content you can actually create and whatnot. Day 6 might just be, or day 5, it might just be like a lifestyle shot, if you will, of just something random, just talking about something random, or some sort of related news article. And guys, you can literally Google, by the way, you can literally Google, like if you're doing quotes for people, you can literally type in industry quotes. So for example, if you're working with a gym business, you can type in gym quotes. If you're working with like a baby clothing brand, and you want to give like tips to parents and stuff like that, just regular tips, educating the new parents, because obviously baby clothing brands are obviously new parents and stuff like that. So a good little, I guess, piece of content you could create there is, if you just literally Google like tips for new parents, you'll probably find like blog articles that have like, 50 tips for new parents. Right there, you've got an article that has 50 different tips for new parents. That is individually 50 pieces of content, because you can actually break those down and actually use each one of those as a new, you can actually paraphrase what's been said in the article of one of the tips, and actually have that as a piece of content. And you can have 50 pieces of content right there. Obviously, they're going to be relatively just about they're a bit one-dimensional in terms of they're just tips, because obviously there's all sorts of stuff like behind the scene photos, user generated content, that sort of stuff. You can use those as well. So don't be one-dimensional. The internet is your friend. Go out and use that. So guys, again, if you want any help with this, I do have spots of agency transmutation left. I do have a couple of spots for this particular week. I believe I have a couple of spots available for my one-to-one coaching. Just send me a DM for the one-to-one coaching, or even book in a call, and we can see if there's any spots available. If not, there's always agency transmutation open. And again, my one-to-one coaching is where I literally coach you one-to-one on how to do all of this in depth. And agency transmutation again goes into all of this in depth and more. It shows you the exact templates, the resources you need, the plug and play sheets, everything's in there. That being said, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope that you guys can go out there and help your social media management clients if you're looking for that, and then really stack them up and keep them happy. With that being said, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.